Speed back with another install. Today we're going to be replacing the front struts on this 2007 Acura RL. It also has a very similar front suspension setup to that of a Honda Accord, so that might help you if you're working on a Honda Accord as well. So at this point, let's get started. So this Acura has a wishbone suspension setup, and really we just have this bolt right here and nut, which is attached to the lower control arm, and a bolt only right here that attaches the bottom of the strut to the top of the wishbone. Those are the only two main pieces of hardware that we're going to have to unbolt. And then we've got the upper part of the strut, and we don't have to touch any part of the upper knuckle here or the camber arm. So that's a big help right there. So first we'll start off with the top of the wishbone suspension, which is attached to the bottom of the strut, and really all we have to do is just get a ratchet in there and crank it loose. I didn't need any PB blaster, but you might, depending on the condition of your whole setup. Now we're going to attack the bottom part of the wishbone, which just basically takes an opening wrench on one side and a ratchet on the other, and this comes loose pretty easily. Once we've removed the nut, we're going to need to apply a little up force on the bottom of the suspension so we don't strip the threads on this bolt. So I'm going to tap it flush with the rubber mallet, and then take a small screwdriver and begin to tap the bolt out. About halfway through, I noticed some resistance, so then I decided to take off some of the up force, and that seemed to do the trick. I was able to safely tap out the bolt the rest of the way without any damage. So just take your time and make sure you don't damage the threads on this bolt. Now we're free to remove the fork from the bottom of the strut, and I will say that this is probably the most difficult part of this whole project, and I did have to use some downforce at this point to get the two separated. I stuck a pry bar and lodged it underneath the end link and then pushed down. It took me several tries, but I was able to finally separate the fork from the bottom of the strut, as you can see here. So with that accomplished, we can now move to the top of the engine bay and release the strut. Of course, we'll first have to remove this plastic shield, and it's just a couple push pins to get access. Now that we have access, we can remove all 6 of the bolts holding the strut in. We have 2 slightly hidden bolts here and here, and they're not much of a problem. They come out relatively easy. Now I would also recommend breaking loose the nut that's holding the top hat on, not removing it completely, just breaking it loose slightly, because that'll make it a lot easier after we compress the spring to remove the nut if it's already been broken loose. Now we need to apply some up force on the front suspension to make it easier to remove the strut assembly. But I would highly recommend you point the strut towards the front of the car and not towards the rear of the car as I have here. It'll make it much easier to remove if you do so. At this point, I'm comparing my shock and just making sure that everything lines up before I compress the spring. Now we're ready to put the spring compressors on, but at this point I'm going to highly recommend that you use an impact gun to do this procedure. It is nearly impossible to use a ratchet to compress both sides evenly, and it will take a very long time. So if you don't have an impact gun, see if you can borrow one before you start this project, because it'll make your life much easier. Now at this point I've actually installed this spring compressor upside down, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in, but I did not know that it was backwards. This is the correct positioning you want to use for your spring compressor. And you want to make them even on both sides. So once I get this side tightened up, I'm going to remove the other one and spin it around, and I'll show you the correct configuration for both of them. We've got the spring compressors on correctly, and we've got them evenly spaced. So now we can start the tightening process. What you want to do at first is just tighten each side just a little and go back and forth until you get a decent amount of tension on both sides. Once you've got a good amount of tension, you can really ramp it up and tighten them much quicker. Once you get the spring compressed enough that the top hat starts to loosen up, and you can see it start to move, then you're ready to release the nut on the top hat. With this shock, you're going to need an Allen key to stabilize the bolt in the middle, and then open and wrench to loosen the nut. Now that you've removed the nut, you're going to want to pay close attention to the orientation of two washers, one on top of the top hat and one just underneath. Now you can remove the strut, and we're going to also utilize this washer right here and the bump stop. But before we go into that, I want to make sure that you take this plastic sleeve and slide it over your new strut, and that just helps seat the spring so it doesn't rattle around. Now that we've got that done, we can remove the bump stop. My washer was stuck, so I had to take a hammer and tap it a bit to break it loose. But once I did, it came off relatively easy. And then I was able to remove the bump stop and slide it onto the new strut. Now that you've got your bump stop on, you're ready to put the dust cover back over that. Once you get the dust cover on, you're ready to slide the strut back into the spring. As we talked about earlier, make sure that the washer underneath the top hat is oriented correctly. It may take a little bit of finagling to get it in there just right, so just take your time. Once I went to replace the strut and to place the nut back on the top hat, I noticed that the spring had expanded and I was unable to get the nut on. That's not uncommon at all, and once you remove the top hat, sometimes the spring will expand. So all you have to do to remedy the situation is remove the strut and compress the spring quite a bit more if you have to, or as much as you need to get the strut back in and get the nut on the top hat. Now it's time to release the spring compressors, and you just methodically go back and forth like you did when you were tightening, and release it slowly on each side till they're completely off. Before I put the strut back in the car, I thought I'd show you the correct orientation of the fork into the bottom of the strut. You can see this small gap right here in the fork, and that should line up with this tab right here on the bottom of the strut. Once that fork is pushed up, it locks in and keeps it from rotating once it's bolted in. You can also see this collar or safety collar that keeps the fork from sliding up over the strut any further. This cheaper aftermarket strut does not have a retaining collar, and as you can see, the fork slid over this notch and made contact with the drive axle, and that's the last thing you want to have happen when you're on the road. It ground down so much that it started to mushroom, and I had to take a Dremel just to grind this down to get the fork off. So make sure that your aftermarket strut does have a retaining collar so that doesn't happen to you. So I guess you really do get what you pay for. I just wanted to show you what it looked like on the car. You can see right here that the strut has slid down through the fork and then made contact on the drive axle. It also damaged the clasp that holds the drive axle boot on, so I'll have to replace that too. Luckily, the driver brought this car to me saying that it just didn't sound right, and boy was she right. It definitely could not have sounded very good when you're grinding away at the drive axle. This is just a little tip on reinstallation. Once you get the strut inside the wheel well, you want to take the fork and slide it up onto the tab that we talked about earlier. I went ahead at this point and tightened it down, not all the way, but applied enough force so that the tab would not slip or move. Once you get that semi-tightened, you want to go ahead and place a nut onto the top of the strut tower to hold the whole strut in place. And that keeps the strut suspended while you align the bottom of the fork onto the suspension. This may take a while to get this all lined up, so just take your time, and you may have to apply some up force or down force to properly align it. And then you can slide the bolt back in and tighten down. So as usual, please like and subscribe if this helped you out, and Z-Speed will be back soon with another video. Until then, keep on repairing.